we have the mobile app is coming, and the mobile app is really all about of making your life easier to consume your music NFTs first.
I also know that you guys recorded a session with Killer Whales. When is that episode airing? When is it going to air?
I have details.
I have Florian joining me on this video to talk through a few things about NEWM, and they've got some catalyst proposals that they are going to go through and also give us an update in regards to what's going on in the NEWM ecosystem. I absolutely love this project. There's lots going on at the moment, lots of previous updates. So Florian, welcome to the podcast.
Hello, thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure, as always. Pete, I think it's great to give our community some updates, but also not only our community, but the Cardano community in general. And we all know Catalyst Fund is around the corner. Everyone is voting right now. So I would be more than delighted to guide you through our proposals, which I strongly believe will be also some game changers for our ecosystem, the music ecosystem.
First off, just for those that don't know about NEWM, and I know there are people that still haven't heard of NEWM, could we get a really brief overview of what it is and what you guys are trying to do?
What NEWM is doing, what NEWM really wants to do, we would love to reshape the music industry in a sense that artists and fans or listeners are connecting on a totally different level, not only by listening to music, but really by joining the journey with all the up and downs of an artist, which means we are right now fractionalizing music, music streaming royalties, future music streaming royalties on our platform. And though as a fan, if your artist gifts you something, suddenly you're incentivized to listen to his music. It's like, yeah, you get part of the royalties. This is the clue about it, because this cuts out all the middlemen, all the music promoters, all the marketing dudes who would love to help artists, but they are not doing a good job. It's really, then it's in the hand of the fans. And yeah, this is what we did first. This is the product which is out right now. We've created a distribution service. So as an artist, you come to us, we distribute your music to 130 outlets like Spotify, Apple Music. And then we collect the royalties and bring it on chain. And everyone who holds stream tokens, so your song gets tokenized and into stream tokens, and everyone who holds stream tokens is eligible of claiming these royalties. That's the first product, which solves already some problem for artists in terms of a band, for example, if they're splitting up. Suddenly everything is governed on chain, which is nice to have, though you don't have to hire a lawyer to figure things out. And then the other part is the next things, and there we might getting into the roadmap, but I think we are diving into this a little bit later, what's coming. But yeah, that's our first product. It's on the mainnet. We are testing it with a couple of artists right now, and we have around 1,200 on the waiting list to join the early beta.
Wow.
And from there, if everything goes well, we would love to open it up for everyone around the globe.
So that's the studio that's just been released recently. Is that correct? Yes.
That's the
I
new
did
studio.
see that. I did see that, and a few artists push through and get their music royalties tokenized. So that is a major milestone for NEWM, and I absolutely love that. And congratulations for finally reaching that milestone as well.
Yeah, thank you so much. I think this is, as always, it's a huge achievement. And we are very proud of it, that we came so far. But yeah, the next things are even more exciting, because in the beginning I mentioned we want to build a music ecosystem. And yeah, one product is not an ecosystem, it's like, it's a product. and we are not a single product ecosystem. We really want to reshape the music industry, and therefore we have to create more products under the same, let's say, umbrella of new.
Now, I also know that you guys appeared or recorded a session with Killer Whales. It's a crypto version of Shark Tank.
Yes,
Little mid last year, mid 2023.
yes,
When is
yes.
that episode airing? When is it going
It's
to air?
coming. It's coming.
It's
I have details, but I'm not allowed to say it. But it's
ah,
coming, and I think it's coming earlier than later. So I say so much. We I think there will be a lot of information out there in the next couple of weeks. So stay tuned. It's coming,
okay.
and yeah.
Okay. That's another thing I have to congratulate you guys for, because that's just a massive amount of exposure for you guys. A lot of people be watching that from all different ecosystems, just learning about the project. So it's going to give NEWM exposure and also give Cardano exposure. Hopefully, you mentioned Cardano along the way, right?
We mentioned Cardano, but I think they try to be blockchain agnostic in terms of not mentioning any blockchain at all. So I
Wow.
think
Okay.
they cut every name droppings they cut out. That's what I expect when we had more conversations with them when we were at the set. But it's fine. I think you have to be fair for every project, and if they're able to get rid of the sentiment for the underlying chain, I think it's even better, because this is something we really discussed very quite a long time and very intense in NEWM. Is, for example, I don't know, Pete, if you were able to test the NEWM Studio so far, or if you talk with some of the musicians, the early feedback is great. Look, the only thing you have to do, put your wallet address in. But it is as simple as Web2. And I think that's key. That's the future of crypto. It's not, oh yeah, I'm on ETH, so this is why your project is better. I hope we overcome this idea of tribalism for chains, because it makes no sense at all. Because if you think about clearly, does you might care because you're an influencer what kind of equipment you are using in software, but do you really believe that 80% of the society cares if their phone is running on Android or iOS? Because if you call someone, it works. And I think
Yeah.
this
Yep.
is what we have to achieve, because blockchain is just a back end feature. It's a core structure, but also it doesn't matter if your whatever service you're using. For example, this tool we are recording, we don't care if it's running on an AWS server or on a Google Cloud server. And I think if we are achieving this, then we are truly at the point where mass adoption can happening. And this is exactly what we are trying to do with NEWM, because if you come to NEWM, you use our NEWM Studio, then suddenly, as an artist, you have this entry point. It's easy, it's simple. You can switch from whatever competitor you're using without crypto approach, and suddenly you're in our ecosystem. And now I think it's time to go towards the roadmap a little bit, because suddenly it makes sense what I'm talking. Because if we create an ecosystem where the artist and fans can stay forever and never want to leave, think about the Apple approach. It just works fine. And then you have 10% churn, 10% want to leave. Does this mean your token has to be on all the other chains? Or does it mean you need just a good bridge for the 10 people who want to leave? It's a rare event. It's not like every month It's not like every month you have a churn of 50%. It's 10 people, 10%. Let's say 10 people by 100 people. It's not so often. And I think if you achieve something like this, that's a truly ecosystem approach. And suddenly for the people, it doesn't matter. They even come back, use the wallets they created for claiming royalties, for example. And this is the vision about NEWM. This is really that's the ecosystem approach we want to achieve.
That's brilliant. Yeah, I love that. I do believe in interoperability and taking a chain agnostic approach for any dApp that's building out there. And completely agree with you. Users don't need to know the underlying technology. They just need to open up a browser and start doing whatever they need to do. So really good approach.
And in the moment the wallet has this feature built in, you don't care. Then the user don't care on which protocol you have built the product, as long the product is superior. And I think this is something what we most of the time forget in crypto in general. It's not only Cardano. We believe, okay, we put it on chain and it's so much better. Look, for an end user, it has to be convenient.
Yeah. Look, you don't want them to open up a wallet and deal with a seed phrase, lose the seed phrase, and then never get paid ever again. That's the last kind of situation they want.
Yeah. But this is something, for example, we are not solving. This is something where better players out there, in this ecosystem. It doesn't matter where. I think having a custodial wallet might be a business case for a lot of wallet provider down the road, because there is a business case, and I think it's legit. They are existing. Not everything can be really non-custodial, but I think we should empower the end user to give them the opportunity to choose. If they want to be non-custodial, go. If you're afraid of losing your seed phrase and all your assets, then don't go, Yeah. And I think this kind of option we have to provide them. And I think this is the value of cryptos. This is the values of Cardano. It's empowering the end user, empowering people.
Okay, so this is probably a good segue to move on to the roadmap and other products that you guys are building at the moment, and then we'll tap into the Catalyst proposals after that. So what's next on the roadmap now that you guys launched the studio?
So definitely we've launched the studio with per song release. You pay per song release approach. That's the first one we did. Though what's on the roadmap, of course, in 2024, there will be also an album release coming, something like this. But these are more features for the studio. I think what we have to really dive into it is we are working on our own marketplace, for example, because our approach is a different one than everyone else out there. One of our early testers, Nido, for example, he used MintSwap and created a liquidity pool for his Stream tokens there. So it's working. We can give someone the freedom to do it. But of course, he knows what he's doing. He's an expert in the Cardano ecosystem. And this is the beauty, again, what I mentioned before. We are opening up. And in our ecosystem, we want to make it as convenient as possible, as easy as simple, especially for artists and for fans and listeners. And this is why we are working on a new approach for a marketplace, which makes it just simple and easy to purchase or gift or get your hands on Stream tokens of the artist you love. This is the one which we believe is really supporting the NEWM studio. And then we have, on top of that, we have the mobile app is coming. And this is part of the Catalyst proposal. And the mobile app is really all about of making your life easier to consume your music NFTs first, and down the road, we would love to transform it in a full-fledged decentralized streaming service. Highly likely we go through the centralized streaming service approach first, and then we decentralize everything down the road as well. This one will be early on also go multi-chain, just with the approach of, bringing musicians over from other ecosystem to Cardano and to NEWM, of course, because this is certainly just an entry point for these people to consume their music NFTs. And suddenly they find out NEWM is, it's about music. It's so much more. And suddenly they found out about stream tokens, which is totally different than a music NFT, where the whole music is on chain and not generating any royalties at all. But it's more like a CD kind of thing on a public server. Let's put it this way. This is what an NFT is. I think that's I think these are the really big topics we are planning for 2024, without going into detail too much, because of course in the end the devil is in the detail. Highly likely when we are going into the Catalyst proposal, then I talk a little bit more about the streaming app.
Yep. Yeah, I love that approach of building the streaming app to attract users from different ecosystems, because there's always a better way to consume these music NFTs. I've got a whole bunch of them, and I had to just download them as MP3s into a USB drive so I can listen to it in the car. That's what I had to do. There's no other way that I can listen to these music NFTs on the go. So it's just really hard.
And think about, let's put it this way. So let's dive into the proposals, because this is exactly
go for it.
What in the end the first part of the mobile app is doing. It's a very simple onboarding process. You connect your wallet, we scan your wallet. If you have music NFTs, you hit the button and we download all the music on your phone, but in a nice, easy way where you had to go through this hassle of, okay, I download every single one step by step each, and highly likely you go to Pool Tool or wherever you do it out of your wallet, and then you put it on your phone, and now suddenly you have it there. That's a pain in the ass. With us, you download an app, you connect your wallet, done. And we always check your wallet because it's public knowledge anyways. We check your wallet in certain timeframes if you're still owning this song. And if you don't, we erase it from your app. It's just deleted. So that's what we are building in the first place. And of course, the idea there is go multi-chain to attract more music fans from other ecosystem, which will be then boost the whole music NFT genre on Cardano itself, and I think brings some users. This is what we want to build there, and this is part one of the streaming. In the next Catalyst Fund, we will then go into a full-fledged streaming approach, where we would love to fund the full streaming, a full-fledged streaming app, where everyone who distributed music to the streaming app, and you pay a monthly fee, of course, then you have access to this. But in combination with the music NFT part, that means if you own music NFTs, you always can listen to it, even if you're not going for a subscription, because that's the idea. Give options. And if you don't have music NFTs from these artists, look, suddenly you can buy a subscription and listen to all the music, which means if you own a music NFT, of course, then this doesn't count as a stream count for the streaming app, but this is for the next one. And I think that's exactly where we have seen the need. And a lot of music NFTs listeners are complaining about the hassle. So, and I think this is the reason why we don't see so huge sales around music NFTs, because it's a great idea, music NFTs, but if there is no convenient way of consuming it, what's the purpose? You know,
Yeah,
suddenly
yeah,
you're stuck
exactly,
again.
exactly.
And this is what NEWM is all about. Having a really good music ecosystem, which is convenient for the end user. And this approach we are following here as well. So
Right.
that's one catalyst proposal we have out there.
Okay, that one is really good. I hope you guys get funded for that, because it will just make my
We hope
life
to.
easier. My music collection that's in the MP3s that I've purchased from like Nido and Odd Shaped Shadow and a couple of other artists within the Cardano ecosystem alone, I can actually consume
Yeah,
rather
yeah.
than pressing play
On the
on
go.
pull PM. Yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
On the go, on your phone. And this is what we all want. And also think about it's a nice looking app. It's not like where you go to on your phone suddenly on the files, you know, and you have to look for the music, the MP3s, and then you play it on the phone. Though it's just really convenient. And this is what it should be.
I'll make sure I put links to that proposal in the show notes. That's a really good one for people to jump in on and get behind. What about the
Definitely.
next one?
As we mentioned, it's all about convenience, and the other one is more for the artists, but also for fans, because we get access to all the streaming data, because we are collecting how much streams have you generated with the song and these things. But suddenly we're creating also stream tokens, which is suddenly on chain, though there has to be an analytic platform which covers both. And this is a proposal we are working in partnership with Cerberus, because everyone knows Cerberus, and they're just experts in visualization and data mining and getting these information and present these on-chain information in a very convenient and digestible way. And this is why we partnered with them on that one, because we will create a ton of fungible tokens for the Cardano ecosystem, and we have to track them. And suddenly, highly likely, if you really think about it, it suddenly makes sense, because as an artist, if you dive into it, you suddenly might find new partnerships. Because think about, I don't know, a lot of people might listen to rock and roll, but on the same time also about hip hop. And suddenly with the stream token approach and the analytics behind, if you figuring out that there is a lot of overlap in all of these wallets, there might be a market for a new genre, hip hop combined with rock and roll. Because right now you don't have these access, because a lot of people just listen to random stuff on Spotify, though you cannot trust it. But suddenly, if people purchasing, for example, a stream token, they have put money into it. So suddenly you trust them. And this is things they're consuming. Suddenly that's a very interesting one. But also down the road, we would like to add, of course, and enrich the data, because think about, if you're an artist, if you're going on a tour and you go through Australia, for example, and you know that 50% of this one song, the holders are all in Australia. You don't know who are they, but you should include this song in your tour, at least down there. Suddenly you can customize your tour wherever you are on the planet with this kind of data, which I guess it's powerful in the right hands, especially if we are making it, again, convenient as possible, that the artist can dive into it, get some recommendation. And this one is just the beginning again, because I think this one can be ongoing, because AI might make it simple to make suggestions and recommendations down the road with this kind of data, and help the artist to become a better artist in terms of marketing. That's the other one.
I was thinking exactly that with the AI play. You have all this data here, but then having AI help analyze and sort that data as well, to give the user suggestions on how they can best use that data. So I think that's brilliant. And working with Cerebus, that's a no-brainer. The stuff that they've produced for the ecosystem at the moment for free, and the analysis of projects and where hacks and stolen funds have gone has been amazing. So it's definitely a team that projects should be working with. So they do amazing things. So
Definitely.
that's another really good proposal. I like that one too. I'll make sure if anyone else is interested, links again in the show notes down below.
The last one from NEWM here is a learn-to-earn education platform, because we all know, especially we at NEWM know, that there is just a limited amount of musicians on Cardano and also on all the crypto ecosystems. It doesn't matter if it's Cardano. So why limit our own market to it if we can educate so much more people to help them make this transition and be part of something like NEWM? And Cardano, of course, it's always, if people are going to, and I think that's very important, if people are coming to NEWM, then they immediately, in the moment they distribute music, they, through us, say, for the next 100 of years, let's put it this way, because it depends a little bit, but if the artist is not dying immediately, then 70 years after, it's still generating royalties. It means at least for 100 years, let's say we generate royalties, which all become on chain and stick around, and they use the Cardano blockchain for it, with them not knowing. And though we strongly believe education is key for opening up, and this is why we would love to have a learn-to-earn education platform where the artists, where listeners, where fans are getting incentivized to learn more about crypto, to learn more about NEWM, and of course to learn more about Cardano. This one will be in the end again open source as all the stuff we are doing, and which means we believe or we hope that more projects taking our source code here, if we are getting funded, and just do it themselves. Fill it with content, give incentives out there, and then try to onboard in their specific niche more and more people, because this is what we need. We need more community members. We are all living in this bubble that Cardano is changing the world. But I think, and what's very important is that we are getting these things into the hands of the ordinary people. I put them ordinary, but they into the hands of other people around the globe, which are not into crypto, which would love to learn more, which are coming because they're incentivized to learn about. And I think that this can be a really good tool, not only for us, I think for the whole Cardano ecosystem, to increase the amount of community members.
Yeah, learn to earn is something I'm very passionate about myself. So hopefully that one gets a little bit of exposure. If you don't get funding, hopefully you guys still manage to find a way to build it as well, because I think there's a lot of value for the community to have something like that, especially new people coming into the ecosystem as well. So good luck with these three proposals. Like I mentioned, all the links will be in the show notes down below, so anyone that's interested can check them out and hopefully put them into the Catalyst voting app and give a yes vote. So fingers crossed for you guys. But again, congratulations on meeting all your milestones and launching the studio and gaining the traction. And hopefully soon we'll see that video episode on killer whales. I'm looking forward to that one as well.
Me too.
All right, Florian, thank you so much for joining me on this episode. It's good to speak to you and have you on the channel.
Thank you.
Yeah, yeah, gotta do it like that. You've been listening to the Learn Cardano podcast.